In the dim light before dawn, the village stirs. The faint glow of a rising sun creeps over the thatched rooftops, illuminating narrow dirt lanes lined with mud-walled cottages. From within these humble homes, the first sounds of life begin. A baby's cry, the low moan of a cow, the creaking of wooden shutters. For the medieval peasant, life is a relentless rhythm dictated by nature, the land, and the demands of the lord who owns the surrounding fields. There is no alarm clock, only the instinctive understanding that work must begin at sunrise if one hopes to survive. The peasant's day begins in the cold. Winters bite harshly, and even summers bring early morning chills. Children are already awake, helping their mothers tend to the fire or fetch water from the village well. In the corner of the darkened room, a small hearth crackles weakly, offering minimal warmth. The meal, if it can be called that, is simple. A few pieces of coarse bread, perhaps flavoured with salt or honey if fortune allows, and occasionally a small portion of cheese or porridge. There is no luxury of meat for most peasants. It is a rarity reserved for feast days or special occasions. Each bite is a reminder of the day's work that lies ahead, for energy is essential when labouring from dawn until dusk. As the village awakens fully, the men and women step out into the fields. The peasant's land is often divided into small strips, tilled by hand or with the aid of oxen. The tools are primitive: wooden ploughs, sickles and hoes, and every task requires immense physical effort. Spring and summer are particularly grueling seasons, as fields must be prepared, sown and tended. In autumn, the harvest demands long hours under the sun, with every grain of wheat or barley counted as essential sustenance. The land is both a lifeline and a prison. Failure to work it properly means hunger. And yet, there is little reward beyond subsistence. Women, meanwhile, manage both domestic and agricultural responsibilities. While men tend to ploughing and harvesting, women milk the cows, feed the chickens, churn butter and bake bread. They carry water from distant wells and scrub floors with straw and ash. Yet the tasks do not end when the sun sets. Evenings are reserved for mending clothes, preserving vegetables for winter, and teaching the children skills they will need to survive. Life is continuous labour, punctuated only by brief moments of rest or socialisation in the village square. The diet of a medieval peasant is dictated not by taste, but by availability. Bread is the staple, made from barley, rye or oats, rather than the refined wheat consumed by wealthier classes. Vegetables such as cabbage, beans, onions and leeks provide some variety, while fruits are seasonal and often wild. Meat is scarce, typically consumed only when a peasant can hunt, fish, or raise a small pig or chicken. Pottage, a thick stew of grains, vegetables, and occasionally bits of meat, is the main meal. Herbs and wild greens lend flavour, but the diet is monotonous, lacking the richness familiar to modern palates. Malnutrition is common, and children often grow up smaller and weaker than their noble contemporaries.
Despite the hardships, there is a rhythm to peasant life that fosters resilience and community. Villagers rely on each other for survival, sharing labour and resources when necessary. Communal tasks, such as harvesting, building fences, or repairing roofs, are occasions for cooperation and, occasionally, celebration. Festivals, holy days, and religious ceremonies provide rare opportunities for joy and relaxation. On these days, peasants might indulge in ale, simple games, or dancing in the village square, temporarily escaping the relentless demands of subsistence living. One of the most difficult aspects of peasant life is its vulnerability to forces beyond human control. Weather dictates success or failure. A late frost can destroy early crops, a summer drought can parch the fields, and heavy rains can flood them. Disease is ever present, both in humans and livestock. The Black Death, which would sweep through Europe in the 14th century, was only one example of how fragile peasant life could be. A single misfortune could mean weeks of suffering, or even death, for entire families. Yet peasants persevered, driven by the need to survive and the unyielding cycles of the land. Childhood for a peasant is a continuous lesson in responsibility. From a young age, children assist in the fields, care for animals, and learn domestic skills. Boys often follow their fathers into farming, learning to plough, sow, and reap, while girls are trained by their mothers in cooking, cleaning, and tending to the sick or elderly. Education is minimal and often limited to religious instruction if a parish priest is present. Most knowledge is practical, learned through observation and hands-on experience. Storytelling, songs, and local legends provide entertainment and moral lessons, preserving a culture that might otherwise vanish under the pressures of survival. Work is punctuated by periods of intense physical exertion. Ploughing a field with an ox team is exhausting. The peasant must guide the animals, maintain the furrows, and repair the wooden plough as it splinters under the stress of rocky soil. Harvesting is even more grueling, with scythes swinging under the blazing sun, hands blistered from constant labour. Evenings bring little relief as chores continue at home. Lighting is dim, limited to tallow candles or the fireplace, making sewing, repairing, or preparing food laborious tasks. Yet there is a sense of accomplishment in the completion of each day's work, a tangible reward that even the noblest banquet cannot replicate. Religion plays a central role in the peasant's life, providing both structure and solace. The local church is often the heart of the community, where villagers gather not only for worship, but for socialization and information. Festivals dedicated to saints, planting, and harvest cycles provide a respite from daily toil, blending spiritual devotion with communal celebration. Superstition and folk beliefs are also widespread, reflecting a worldview in which divine favour and natural forces intertwine. A peasant's life is, in many ways, a delicate negotiation with unseen powers, seeking protection, good harvests, and health for family and livestock.
Evenings offer a chance for modest comfort. The family gathers around the hearth, the warm glow of the fire offering temporary respite from the chill. Meals are shared in silence or punctuated by quiet conversation. Stories are told, songs sung, and plans made for the following day. Sleep comes early, for the dawn demands another day of labour. Dreams are often filled with the hopes and fears of the peasant life. Abundant crops, healthy children, and perhaps a rare taste of fortune, whether in the form of extra food, a good harvest, or a rare gift from the Lord. Seasonal cycles dominate every aspect of peasant life. Spring brings planting and the hope of growth. Summer offers long hours of toil under the sun. Autumn demands the arduous harvest, and winter forces retreat into the home, tending animals, mending tools, and conserving food. Each season imposes its own challenges and rewards, reinforcing the peasant's intimate connection to the natural world. Unlike the nobility, whose lives are cushioned by wealth and privilege, peasants live and die according to the rhythms of the earth. Despite the hardships, medieval peasants display remarkable resilience. Their lives are defined by a pragmatic acceptance of reality, a keen awareness of the fragility of life, and a deep connection to family and community. Laughter, song, and shared labour bind the village together, creating a sense of solidarity in the face of adversity. Each day is a testament to endurance, skill, and adaptability, as peasants navigate the complexities of survival with courage and ingenuity. Ultimately, the life of a medieval peasant is one of constant labour, simple pleasures, and enduring hardship. From dawn to dusk, and from season to season, peasants toil with a single-minded focus: to feed their families, maintain their homes, and preserve their fragile place in a hierarchical world that offers little reward beyond survival. Their story is one of resilience and continuity, revealing the strength of ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. While their lives may seem harsh by modern standards, they embody a profound connection to the land, to community,
and to the rhythms of nature, a connection that defines not only their survival, but also their humanity.